Hello, welcome to Hashtag Trending. I'm Samson Seas, captain of the seven seas. I come and go with ease. I do that in a cool summer breeze. Stop me if you've had enough of these.
That's enough, Samson.
Oh, sorry. Getting a bit carried away there. Anyway, this is what we're looking at today. These are our main hashtags. And as you can see, it's all about our main star of the show, Donald Orange Trump. Sorry, President Donald Trump. Anyway, he is the main star of the show, and here's the reason why. Let me get the magic tablet and show you. Is it working now? Good. You see, it's bad enough that the US president relies on bad intel from his aides and advisors. And what makes it worse is that he brags about it in public before any thorough verification. So here's what happened. TikTok users made an unlikely reliance. They got together, they scooped up most of the tickets to a re-election campaign for Trump in Oklahoma. And what did they do? They didn't even show up to the rally, leaving Trump and his allies just stunned. Leaked reports from Trump's inner circle claim that the US president was actually going to speak at an imaginary outdoor rally that was almost entirely empty. Quality stuff. Let's read the comments. Okay, here we have Joshua on Twitter saying, starting to look like there might be more protesters outside than supporters inside the Tulsa Trump rally. Let's have a look. Gotta hurt. Moving on. Also on Twitter, we have Peter. He says, Trump rally fail proves that Trump's base are beginning to wake up, even though it appears that Trump is putting the supporters who did show up at Tulsa rally to sleep. Let's see the clip.
They said, you couldn't lift your hand up to your mouth with water. I start the journey inch by inch, right? I've taken water and it spills down into your tie. It doesn't look good for a long time. And frankly, the tie is never the same. When I was 10 feet short, I said, General, I'm sorry, and I ran down the rest, right? I said, how good was that speech? I thought it was hey, look, so far tonight, I'm average.
Well, perhaps the US president can use these sort of speeches to treat insomnia. Why not? Next up, we have Jake on Twitter. My daughter drank water with one hand. She's going to be president one day. Let's see. Oh, if only she was half as orange as the US president. Oh, moving on. Yoka on Facebook says, in its online salvo against Antifa and far-left mobs, Trump's re-election campaign displayed a marking the Nazis once used to designate political prisoners in concentration camps. A red inverted triangle was first used in the 1930s to identify communists and was applied as well to social democrats, liberals, Freemasons, and other members of the opposition parties. Now, in Trump's defense, his team used the symbol in an ad about the far-left activist group Antifa, who uses the symbol. You be the judge. Okay, I want you guys to picture this for a second. You're walking around in a public space, you're minding your own business, and your mind is miles away, and then a passerby, for no reason, just jumps you and tries to stab you, just like that. Well, this is exactly what happened in the UK, a place called Reading, and now the police are investigating it as a terror attack.
Jeez, questi people.
A couple of days ago, on June the 20th, the world commemorated the strength, courage, and perseverance of 30 million people who have been misplaced. They are refugees. 60% of them come from Afghanistan, South Sudan, and Syria. Some of them also come from Palestine. Here's how one Palestinian celebrated this special occasion. You know, Iran is no different from the refugee crisis. The country actually provided asylum to over 1 million refugees, mainly from Afghanistan. So, the next video is going to be dedicated to the Afghan brothers living among Iranians for many years. You know, Bangladesh is also high up on the list of countries with the most amount of refugees. Remember the Rohingya Muslims? You know, the world's most persecuted people? Well, about 1 million of them are now living in one of the most crowded places on earth. Bear that in mind. Now we have Jem Joyce on Twitter saying, Bangladesh is home to around 900,000 Rohingya refugees and hosts the world's largest refugee camp. 3 years after most people arrived here, having fled violence in Myanmar, they're still unable to go home. Video from my 2018 visit. Why do people have to suffer like that? I don't understand it. On YouTube, we have Matthew. This reminds me of my stay in South Sudan, Juba in particular. I got back so much humbled. Long live our new nation in Africa in peace. Here's the video. I can't get my head around this. Why are people made to live like that? It's so unbelievably cruel. Let's try and take our minds off it with this comment from Dr. Sakina on Twitter. She says, there is a crisis in Afghanistan. Many refugees are returning after losing jobs and having no healthcare abroad. They are sick, starving, dying, and they need help. Moving on. Staying on Twitter, we have Imran. He says, street view from the destroyed Palestine refugee camp in Dara. Refugee families among some of the most vulnerable in Syria are living among these ruins. We must support their right to live a normal, dignified life. Let's have a look. Well, everyone, just like the workings of the world, all good things must come to an end, including this edition of the show. But fear not, we'll be back again next week, same time. I'm Samson Seas. Follow us on Twitter, if you please.